This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Please note that any comments, jokes, questions, maybe, anything that we say on the history of bad ideas is all in good fun. And remember, we insult everybody. Our thoughts, opinions, questions, anything else, actions that we do on the show do not reflect any of our employers, organizations, advertisers, or anyone else that is associated with the history of bad ideas. And remember, at the end of the day, it's just a joke. Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 243. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
Blake.
Yay! We're all in the studios again this week. You know, I miss you guys after Skype. I will say, it is nice to just go upstairs from the Bob Studios and sleep, though.
Yeah.
Into a little hotel.
It is a little uncomfortable sitting here with no pants.
No, why? I'm not wearing pants.
Just a little self-conscious.
Yeah, I don't know why you're uncomfortable.
Jeff's shirtless. I'm pantless. You're shoeless. I don't know what's going on.
Crotchless.
Jim's invisible. So there you go. Jim's out here this week. I think he has a golf outing. So good for him. The jailbreak golf outing.
Oh, okay.
So that's good.
That's this
that was this week. So we are here. We may have a guest on this week.
Jim.
We may. We don't know yet.
He didn't fight him every single time.
He crawled through 500 yards of shit and came out a clean man.
He never fought the sisters. In fact, he welcomed them.
I heard you can get stuff from the outside inside.
And he also did the tax returns.
Well, that would have been a much shorter movie if Blake was in charge of it.
And then he said to him, "Would you like to stay? Would your kid like to go to Harvard or Yale?" That's all I got. I don't remember anything else.
Thanks. Yeah.
That was from the text. Shut up!
That's a great impersonation.
Anyway, so yes, we are here, back in the studios. Only a couple weeks left until our live recorded shows at the Cincinnati Comic Expo.
Live recorded shows.
They will be recorded live.
Shows recorded live.
And I know YouTube channel has not had much video. We may be changing that come to Expo.
What?
So just be ready. So, anyway.
Be scared. Be very
Some
scared.
sad news, though. William Zabka had to pull out of the Expo.
No Karate Kid?
What?
But he did give them enough notice, and he said he will be there next year. The reason is Cobra Kai is filming second season.
Well, I can understand someone, needing to work.
Yes. Since you don't work, Jeff.
I do work. That's what sucks about it.
Oh, well, sorry. Maybe you should be milking off the teat of the government.
I'd like to do that.
Not on the level of Cobra Kai, though.
No.
None of us.
I'd just prefer to be independently wealthy.
Well, wait a minute.
I would prefer you to be independently wealthy.
There is one person getting filthy rich off of nerdly.uk.
Jason, writing reviews?
Yeah.
I am. I got podcast money coming out.
Filthy rich.
Actually, movie review money coming out.
I know. What's it like to cash those movie review checks?
I don't know. I might be watching The Predator, though.
Ooh.
I might watch that. I'm debating. I don't know about that.
You actually
watch The Meg. Predator can't be worse.
Shut up about The Meg. It was a great film.
So you can like pay cash at Redbox for your movies now?
Yes. $2.
11 cents.
Is that how much it is? I've never used Redbox. I'm waiting for somebody just to steal the whole Redbox just to get all the DVDs. That's what I'm waiting for. I got all this. I got Annie from 1987.
Great. So now when we hear on the news that someone stole a red box, they'll come and blame us.
Probably.
Because we give all the ideas.
Yeah, why don't you trademark that real quick?
Trademark thieving.
Pillaging. I will say that I have a correction of my own. I was thinking about it, and then my daughter was watching. My daughter and my youngest son started watching the film. I have a new number 1 from last week for top 5 shape-shifting films.
Ooh, number 1.
Yeah, I saw you tweet that out.
Moana. I forgot all about Maui's shape-shifting. That is one of my favorite movies. And so Moana is my number 1.
Out of all those Disney movies that we said, we didn't even think of Moana.
Nope. I do like Emperor's New Groove, too. I do. But I'm going with Moana as my favorite. So.
And I like Beauty and the Beast, too. It didn't say that.
Well, it's just because you forgot.
So my list was pretty bad.
Was that the Rock's fish bones?
Yes.
Yes. Fish Hook.
Okay. Oh,
Fish
Hook. Yeah, whatever.
We would like to say thank you to Jeannie from Hobie for stopping by last week.
Yeah.
Rumor is that we're pillaging Tony from Salty Language, too, next time.
Only if he stops drinking IPAs.
Please, stop drinking IPAs. That's your public service announcement. Some sad news. Aretha Franklin passed away.
Actually, there's a lot of sad news.
Okay.
You actually left off a couple.
I know I got. Well, I didn't. It was Hackney.
Man.
Intern Hackney.
Damn intern.
Robin Leach passed away.
Yeah. Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, that's right.
Great actress. She was in Blues Brothers.
Yep.
And
That's how Jason knows her. Everybody else knows her as the Queen of Soul.
she sings.
Was she in Pink Cadillac, the movie?
I can check.
She sang the
I
song.
know she sang the version
And,
of the song.
you know, if it weren't for her, nobody could spell respect correctly.
The people who heard the original Otis Redding version would remember.
Oh.
Pink Cadillac.
Well, I
you
never
said?
did.
So you couldn't spell it?
No.
Okay.
Who else? Go ahead.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Pink Cadillac.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it one that he actually claims?
1989? Bernadette Peters.
Oh, it was Bernadette
Yeah,
Peters.
Bernadette Peters.
That's not Aretha Franklin.
I can see who else is in this. Hold on. That's not working. Who else we got there, Blake? Who else? Robin Leach,
Robin Leach.
the biggest moocher of anybody in this world.
The guy who said, I got an idea. I'll just follow rich people around and ride their coattails.
And
I like that idea.
And possibly led to the family who shall not be named fame because of that asshole.
Oh, wow. We're talking about passing.
Dear
Come on.
asshole.
You know who was in Pink Cadillac?
Not Robin Leach.
Clint Eastwood and Bernadette Peters.
Good job. Dirk Blocker, who played Policeman #1. You know who he is? Do you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I do not.
He's Sully and the other guy. I can't think of it.
One of the old cops?
Yes, I just saw that in here. I'm going through it. Robert Harvey.
Who's that?
I don't know. He was in this. Paul Benjamin.
Great build up. Who's
Yeah.
that?
Francis Fisher.
Who's that?
Brian Adams.
The singer?
Brian Adams?
Yes, he was a gas station
What?
attendant.
Everything
No
I
shit.
do,
Jim Carrey.
I do it for
Jim Carrey
you.
was in it.
No shit.
He played lounge entertainer. He was billed as James Carey.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's
this is
actually
when,
pretty interesting.
that's when he was a serious actor. You called him by James, not Jim.
Sven Ole Thorson. He played. This is his character's name.
Thulsa Doom.
Birthright Thug.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Birthright Thug.
I think he might have been a World's Strongest Man competitor.
He was Conan the Barbarian. He was the buddy of Thulsa Doom.
Was he?
I believe so, yeah.
Well, you know what? Let me check that up.
Until I'm proven wrong.
Do you want me to confirm, or do you want to not be proven
Until the
wrong?
intern fact
hit
checks
his
me.
name
Actually,
on your-
you know what? We don't have to do this. That's what we have Dev for.
Yeah, that's right.
What are you looking up facts for?
And also, sad news: Tim Conway is on his deathbed. They said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you had it written down. I'm like, I didn't hear he died. I just heard
Yeah,
he
they
was.
said it's not looking good. It's kind of like the Aretha Franklin that she was going into hospice, and that was about it.
He's got dementia.
Yeah, that's a shame. I love Tim Conway.
He was really good.
That whole Carol Burnett cast was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is anyone left?
Carol.
Besides Carol.
Yeah,
Well, Vicki Lawrence is still alive.
Why?
her.
Why can't you take
Yeah.
her and not Tim Conway?
Wow.
Wow. Oof, man.
If I had to see another Mama's Family,
Yeah. Send your complaints too.
Jason at Graphic Novice,
Grim Reaper at Graphic Novice.
Angel of Death.
I can't believe there's also 2 other notables that passed away. I mean, how could you pass up John McCain?
I was getting to that.
Okay.
Intern Hackney screwed that up.
He's going to be fired soon.
That was a shame with not Hackney with McCain.
Yeah.
I really liked him, and
He was interesting.
it could have been a whole different ball game if he didn't have the wrong running mate.
You know, I completely agree with that.
I think that did a lot.
I don't think it would have been a completely different ball game, but I don't think that actually helped him out an awful lot.
No, it didn't. I think it hampered him, but that's down the hall.
But you know what? He ultimately, he was a vet and a hero and a politician. So he got some plus and a minus.
And I was watching CNN. Yes, fake news, and they were doing his documentary that they filmed a couple of years ago about him.
Yeah.
And I watched about 45 minutes of it, and it was when he was captured in Vietnam, and just what he went through.
Oh, no shit.
I mean, and I completely
Seriously.
forgot that his father was in charge of the Navy over there.
He's an admiral, yeah.
Yeah, in the Pacific. And so that's why one of the reasons is he refused to go to be released, John McCain, because he wasn't there first, and that's the order. And
That's correct.
Because of that, because the Viet Cong were going to release him because of his dad being an admiral in the Pacific. And then because of that, because he said no to let the other soldiers go that were ahead before him, they beat him more severe than any of them.
Yeah.
And so he took it for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I know I
Code
remember
of conduct,
hearing,
man.
Yeah. I remember hearing about it, but it was just something that you kind of forget about, with John McCain. And
We do. We forget about it, and we forget an awful lot about history and what a lot of people go through in regards to. And that was part of his big stance on our CIA, advanced
Waterboarding.
interrogation techniques and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
because of what he went through.
Yeah, and how do you dispute him? I don't think we should do that. Well, how do you know? Yeah. I think I do know. Damn it.
Yeah.
I lost that battle. I thought he was... I thought, not only, I shouldn't say it. I thought he was captured for 2 years.
No.
And when I heard that, I was like, oh, man, I forgot all about it. It was 5 years.
5 years, yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
I mean, you imagine it. I mean, imagine going through all that. And, none of us really can.
No.
And he did. So regardless of political party or, political leanings or beliefs or anything along those lines, he is a man that, deserves respect. And he ultimately put country ahead of politics,
Well,
which a lot of people don't do these days.
nobody does.
And he is still a politician. He did say things and then go back and change what he meant. because that's what politics does to you. It corrupts you.
He is a true hero, unlike that Worsley guy.
He is. Yeah, he is. And I completely agree. I couldn't even fathom going through what that man did.
Well, I did like how, oh my God, every news thing was, he died 9 years to the day of his friend Ted Kennedy of the same disease. I was like, can we not bring Ted Kennedy up ever? Please? Please? I don't care. I don't want to bring any Kennedy up.
Yeah, the comparisons between the two.
Did John McCain drown a person? I mean, allegedly?
Yeah,
Allegedly?
hold on a sec. Yeah,
Sorry.
well, yeah, I know, exactly. I know.
And I'm sorry.
It's easy to pick on the dead because they can't defend themselves.
Or if they're a passenger in your car, they can't defend themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
But bump.
Boo.
Sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
down the hall.
Hey, I found a police report 9 hours later.
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't find her. I don't know, Ted.
After I sobered up.
Allegedly. All allegedly. All allegedly.
All allegedly. And we also lost Neil Simon,
What?
Oh, yeah, I heard that today.
Oh,
the
that's
playwright.
right.
Yeah, Neil Simon. Mm-hmm.
He was, what, 92, I think they said?
91, 92.
91,
Yeah, I probably had my biggest claim to fame in amateur acting, non-paid,
Oh, let me guess.
non-professional.
What, Neil
What do you
Simon?
think? What did Neil Simon play? Do you think I was in?
Wow.
Death of a Salesman.
No, that's
That's Arthur Miller.
The birdcage.
Barefoot in the
However,
Park.
salesman is a clue. Barefoot in the Park? No.
Well, if salesman's
Hair.
a clue, that
No. I kept my clothes on. Thank you.
Rent.
No.
Les Mis.
No.
Book of Mormon.
All right. I was in
Jesus
God.
Christ Superstar.
That's right. I was in God's favorite. Pretty
That's
good.
close.
I don't even know that one.
It's probably it's.
Well, I would have been here forever guessing.
I was trying to guess.
It was awesome.
I'm not doubting that. I was trying to guess, and you just looked at me like with disdain. I was just trying to help.
I know.
You could have at least tried to guess plays that Neil Simon might have been the writer
You
of.
didn't even offer up Odd Couple for fuck's
Oh, yeah, I
sake.
guess so.
Jesus. But no, but it is my favorite Neil Simon play, by the
Really?
way, too.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Sunshine Boys are kind of funny, but it's kind of like one-liner slapsticks. But no, God's favorite was
What role did you
awesome.
play?
I played,
The salesman?
yeah,
Did
Yeah.
you die?
I was an angel
Ah.
from God.
Aw.
Yeah.
If they only knew.
And I even did a Brooklyn accent and everything else. It was awesome.
How would a Brooklyn,
Brooklyn
accent
Angel.
go? What did you say?
He was a Brooklyn Angel.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said something else. That
What
was
did you think I
Broken
said?
angel.
No, I thought. I don't want.
Hey, Sonny.
I thought you said Brooklyn anal. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Let's see. Title for the show.
Give me a Brooklyn
My
accent.
goodness. I can't do it now.
Come on.
You ruined it for me.
Come on.
I can't. I'm not that good anymore.
Oh.
Can't do on demand.
Anyways.
I'm a character actor. I got to get it 30 minutes into role.
Okay, Daniel Day-Lewis. Anything else, guys? Blake? Anything
I
exciting?
got it up. Do we want to do up downs?
Sure, let's do up down.
I got it up. I'll tell you what. If you have to release or put out in the news a press release that you're going into rehab, what better combination? And, hey, everybody, I have to go into rehab because I have an alcohol addiction and a sex addiction. Hey, who likes to drink and fuck? This guy.
You talking about Mel B?
Yes, I am. I'm talking about the Spice Hags.
Yeah. Rumor has it, one of her friends came out.
I'm going to release an announcement. I mean, never mind, fuck keeping things private, if
Yes.
you have problems.
Yes.
Let's put it all out there for everybody. I mean, what two things do you want to put out there for going into rehab? Hey, guys, I drink too much and I have too much sex. I'm sorry. I'm addicted to alcohol and sex.
So you're every man.
Hey, everybody. Hey, ladies.
My response is, where's she been all my life? Well, when I was 20.
Or 16.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
18.
That's right. She's no Asia Argenta.
Aw, down the hall.
No, not you two?
Moving on. Poor Mel B. Did she say she was doing it after America's Got Talent or not?
I have no idea.
I would like to.
But no, in all
Maybe
seriousness,
that is her talent. Maybe she should be on
that
the
is
show.
her talent. She drinks and has sex a lot.
I want to see that. I want to see that audition.
Now go watch The Bachelorette.
Oh,
no.
I saw
sorry.
like 5 minutes this season, and there was a guy in a chicken suit. It was a little ridiculous.
That's 5
Yeah.
minutes more than you should have watched.
Well, then I also saw the guy that looked, the singer that looked, Wayne Newton. No, not Wayne Newton. Yeah, he looked like a Muppet. He was serenading some young lady, and I think it was his wife, and it was kind of creepy.
On The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Yuki.
I don't know why Wayne Newton would be serenading his wife on The Bachelor.
Right. Well, he wasn't one of the contestants. They went to Wayne Newton's house, all the bachelors, and they had to sing a song
They
for the
had to
Bachelorette.
invoke the spirit of Wayne Newton.
Yes. Maybe it was the Bachelorette. That's what it was. They had to all sing a song in front of her at Wayne Newton's club.
I see.
And it was awful.
Oh, well. But anyways, apologies to Mel B and her family.
Yes. My up this week is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mel B.
And her family.
She's only like one of Murphy's spawns.
He's now
Right?
having his 10th kid at
Yeah.
the age of 59.
No kidding.
They range in age before the newborn. Newborn
Jeez,
to 29.
I hope he has a will and an estate. I mean,
5 different women, 10
Jeez.
kids.
how many with Mel B?
One. Just one.
All right, so that's where her PTSD comes in. Because she's going actually there for PTSD, alcohol, and sex addiction.
Yes.
I mean, if it were just me, I would just keep it with the alcohol and sex addiction. All right, addiction's not really funny, kids. We really shouldn't be joking about this.
But sex is fun.
But yeah.
So if we separate...
All right, so we can separate ourselves. But seriously, he's got like what, 10 kids from 5 different women,
from 5
different women now.
He's 59. I think his wife. I was going to say his daughter. His wife is 32. I think. And I think he's his second kid.
Wife or girlfriend?
Whatever. Doesn't matter at that age. At that point. So he is the Cromartie of the actors. The ex-cornerback.
Oh.
Remember him from...
yeah, he couldn't remember all the names of his kids.
He had 4 kids that were 3 years old.
Yeah.
And then he got a vasectomy and still had more kids.
That's pretty impressive.
That's very potent.
I think someone lied to him.
Let me tell you this. If we have another kid, that's going to be an issue. I don't know. That vasectomy better be working there. Jeff, you got any ups?
No.
Okay. I got down.
Yeah.
You ready to get really down on this one?
No.
If the first part wasn't down enough.
You're addicted to sex?
Oh, man.
Does your wife know?
She's an alcoholic on the sex. I think it was bad.
There you go.
Anyways, no. So the down of this week was BuzzFeed. No. They actually had a news article that this lady has researched for like 10 years, I think it is. And it's about the abuse that went on at these Catholic-run orphanages.
Didn't they go through all this already?
They did in the late 90s. And then this article is long.
That was in the mid-2000s. That's what they made the whole movie about it. And
that was more just for the the sexual abuse by priests in Boston area.
Okay.
And nationwide eventually. This is the orphanages. And about how basically it was just... I haven't even gone through the whole article. It's a huge article. I can't even get through it without stopping because it is depressing what happened. Ugh. And like I said, oh man, if you get mad about the one with the priest, you're going to get mad about this. And it is killer, man, with some of the stuff, some of the shit.
Right.
And again, you have to figure, okay, say even if half of this is true. Mm-hmm. That half is still the most god-awful thing you could ever think about. So, I do recommend reading it, though. It's on BuzzFeed, and it's on Huffington Post, and a lot of other news sites are actually picking it up.
So, no legit news sites yet, then, is what you're saying.
I get what you did. It's on Us Weekly. I think it'll be fine.
Oh, sure.
Is it on the internet?
Yes.
So it's legitimate.
Yes.
Weekly World News?
It's on, but she uses a lot of depositions, a lot of the court documents and that, like the videos and that. I mean, she went through it all because most of the people are dead because it took place between the 20s and the 60s.
Wow.
And one of them, she focuses on a lot in Vermont, the St. Joseph Orphanage, and then in Burlington, Vermont, and then basically it started snowballing like. Canada did their own inquisition inquiry into it. Not
the Inquisition. That's a different thing from the Catholic Church.
It's like the Crusades. It really worked out well. But anyway, so yeah, it was a great article. Not saying I'm ranting about Printer or anything, but it's a pretty awful article. It's good, but it's rough. So that's my down.
All right, so
Jeff, down?
Yeah, I don't want to continue recording tonight. Thanks for ruining it for me. Have a good night, everybody.
You have your alcohol addiction now?
Well, I'm going to hit the sex addiction first.
Could you get out of the Bob Studios before you do that?
Yes, please.
Okay, 2/3 agree. Sorry, Blake. You got to get out.
Right. It's cool.
Anyway, so anything else?
I got nothing.
Okay. We had the Hollywood Stock Exchange update this week.
The Hollywood Stock Exchange?
Stock Exchange. Sex Exchange.
I think Sock Exchange would be pretty cool.
The Stock Exchange, if you go to hsx.com, it's a free site that you can sign up for. You buy stocks of movies, of actors, all that stuff. Yeah. And if you go under leagues, you can look for the history of bad ideas. And we are under there. And there's 15 people in the league. 13 of them joined after February when we were made aware of it. After June. Sorry, after June.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go look up HSXXX.
No. Well, you could. I see nothing wrong with
The Hollywood Sex Exchange.
Yes. Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, why has Harvey got an advertising banner on there?
You do it. You get $2 million to spend, and it's a percentage gain is how you go in first place in that, like how rankings. So how much you've win or how much you gain that week. Actually, I think it's daily, isn't it? It changes daily.
Well, I think it's how much you've gained.
like the
You
real
start with
exchange.
like a $2 million base budget,
And then it's
what
percentage
the
up and down.
percentage of your thing is based on your starting
So
point.
up and away is at 14.39%.
If you are up and away, let us know who you are.
Yes, please email us or tweet us at Bad Ideas Podcast.
Because up and away has been on here since like 2009.
Yeah, we have no idea who this is.
He joined the league.
And he joined the league, and yeah,
We have no idea.
kicking arse.
But we appreciate him joining, or she. Fish, which is Ape Hands' son, is at 8.62%. Dragging Lith, I don't know who that is at 5.69%. Ape Hands Doug is at 3.23%. He's in fourth place. And me, I'm at fifth place with 0.55%. Let's see here. Jim's in sixth. Randall's in seventh. Greg Rose is in eighth. Nikki from New Zealand is in ninth.
And those are the people on the positive end.
Then you get the negative end, is the bottom six. Jeff?
That's me. Well, last week was when I first started buying. I bought 4 shares of stock when I signed up and sat there for 2 months without doing anything. Last week I finally went through and just bought a whole bunch of stuff. And I probably bought too much Carl Urban because I took a hit.
You know what? That's a good idea. I think I might just go on and buy stock from people in the expo.
There you go.
I was going to say, how does this work? Because I haven't joined, and I meant to join.
All you have to do is...
So when I go to the HSX on my phone,
Yes, let me see here.
I don't think I get all the title menus that you talk about. I was like, I have to create an account.
You have to make an account.
Yeah.
So it's not strictly the buy sells that we do.
No.
And our
No, you can buy anything.
fans have to do buy sells.
Yeah, you can buy and sell anything. Let's see. Also, Sean of Pittsburgh Nerd, then Intern Hackney, Besotted Geek, Doctor Number 2. If you're Doctor Number 2, please let us know who that is. And
I think that's Dr. Number 1's alter ego.
I did tweet Dr. Number 1. He said he had no idea who that is. And in last place, the movie guru, our movie critic, which I think we might need a new opening. We might need to hire someone new. Scab Jeff.
Oh, no. He criticizes very well. He just isn't good at predicting what's going to make money.
No, he's at minus 5%. So, Scab Jeff, congratulations. But no, seriously, join us. It's a fun time. It's free. It's just a blast to do. And Nikki, if Nikki from New Zealand can do it, then you can, because her comment was, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. I'm just buying stuff.
That's pretty much what I did.
There you go.
And she's in the future.
She is.
Yes.
It's tomorrow afternoon already.
Yeah.
So there is your HSX update. We'll do that every month. Get you guys updated.
Or whenever we think about it.
I'll probably go like the Disney poll. So we'll do great on that. And there you go.
It's now time for your bomb
Listener feedback.
listener feedback, brought to you by Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, and Assholes. All right,
Didn't you just repeat yourself?
3 times. Doug, formerly known as
Ape Hands,
Number 1 fan can't give yourself a nickname. I wanted it to be called,
the hammer,
you know I can't.
because you can't give yourself a nickname.
There you go. Phillips head screwdriver. Sorry.
Although, didn't you end up, didn't we give you the nickname the Velvet Hammer or something?
Yeah, that was Velvet.
how about just Tool?
You know what?
Change approved.
That's fine. I am a tool. You know why? I've got so many impressions. I am like a 5-tool player over here. Wait, you need some gold dust?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gold dust. You need some Hunter McAllister? Oh, I am Hunter McAllister. You want some tea? You want some Michael Caine? Some of it is well was the bud. Sounds very similar to Hunter.
Yeah, you think?
You want some
Remy LaCroix?
You want some Remy LaCroix? Give me that bag. I'm going to put it on my ankle and eat it off.
How about some Matthew McConaughey in True Detective?
Well, second season sucked. All is just a infinite time. You want to do some Chris Richardson? I'll do that. I just fell. Anyways, what else you want me to do? Besotted Geek? My taste is awful. Okay, what else we got?
Idris Elba. Do Idris Elba.
I'm not Bond. I'm not telling you. I'm not Bond.
No, don't do Idris Elba ever again.
I'm not Bond. I don't know what you're talking about.
Kevin Spacey.
Hi, guys. I got kids in the basement. Hey, can I go pee on that plant? No, Harvey, go away.
He wasn't peeing on the plant.
Oh, that's right. Oh, God, I don't want to be Harvey Weinstein. Why am I doing impressions of Harvey Weinstein?
These plants are well protein fed.
It becomes a little shop of horrors plants.
Audrey 2.
Feed me.
I got some pudding. I can feed you. Let me give you some pudding.
Feed me, Harvey. Feed me.
Oh, God. And he is one ugly man.
Yes.
God, he is ugly.
Well, he had to become a Hollywood mogul just so people would pay attention to him.
No one else would.
Nobody else would be coerced into having sex with him.
Oh, my God. Anyways, just think of little Audrey's running around because of him. Who's your dad? Harvey.
Audrey 3, Audrey 4. Oh, so, by the way, what did Doug have to say?
Oh. Doug said, it was announced that Disney's new Star Wars land is basically Westworld. As every action each guest makes, the cast members will react to or change how they interact with the guest. So, basically, Westworld. Will Blake now go to Disney?
Cost almost as much as Westworld, the new Star Wars hotel next year.
Correct.
It's about $600, I think. $500?
A day?
Yeah.
A minute.
Per person?
Per one person, and then I think each of guests after that is $200 from your family. And it's a 2-night minimum. And you have a bracelet, basically, a wristband, and they know how to interact. If you're a Jedi, a Sith, or a bounty hunter, or whatever.
They know how many people you've attempted to kill in the park.
Yes, I was going to say, I will be doing a lot of killing in the park. Starting with the cast from
You can't kill Mimi!
episode 1.
I'm going to say, so you walk in,
Find
you get
Jar
settled
Jar.
in, you get your bracelet, you
That's
go
right.
out and just stab people with a lightsaber.
Just start cutting
You're dead,
people
you're
in
dead,
half.
you're dead, you're dead.
And the judge would look at that and go, well, it's Disney's fault. Free!
There you go.
Well, I don't think they give you real lightsabers.
Oh, I'm not going.
I just assumed you pretended that you were dead once you got stuck with one.
Oh. Toy Story Land is going to get really butchered.
I hit you. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. I dodged.
Yeah, well, I'm wearing a lightsaber protection vest.
I actually became one with the Force like Ben and Luke, and so your lightsaber went right through me without hurting me.
This is just a mental image hologram of myself. I projected. I'm an astral projection, so you can't hurt me.
Magic missile.
They all go through me because I'm not really here.
Yeah, I'm a product of a bad script. You can't kill me.
Hey, George, how you doing? Hey, anybody want to go to Avatar Land? Nope.
Hey, can I drink some blue titty milk with Luke?
Nope, because that's green titty milk.
Oh, shit.
The blue milk is bantha milk, and that's on
sorry.
Tatooine.
Anybody want some Gungan milk? That's not from his teeth.
Let's see. One
Boss
night with...
Nass, your feeding tube is in a weird place.
Let's see. One...
Now picture that.
Let's see. One night with Leia or one night with Rey or one night with both.
Or Anakin.
Or Lando.
I think number one fan Doug has a listening device in the Bob Studios. Yeah. He just texted us $650 for one person, $200 for each additional person at Star Wars Land, minimum 2-night stay.
Are we bugged? What? Did he really just send that?
Yeah, he did.
No shit.
Did you send him a text asking him?
I can't confirm that.
Oh.
You can't see my phone. I'm not Tom Brady.
Shit.
If you're not Tom Brady, then I could see your phone.
Boom! I just broke it.
Actually, if you're Tom Brady, I'm going to hang up now. I'm going to hang up now. I don't feel comfortable discussing this.
If anybody can be a sex.
I'm going to hang up now.
And as much as I don't like Tom Brady, I still agree he had no...
They had no right to take the phone?
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
He
It's his
had
own
no
personal
responsibility
phone.
to give them a personal...
I agree.
And then they got pissed
Completely.
off. The NFL got pissed off. Well, you need to give that to us.
No.
No.
It's your personal property, man. Yeah. No
Can't
way.
do that.
Exactly. I mean,
now, if it was a work phone and the NFL paid for it...
I agree.
that's a different situation.
Yeah.
That's NFL property.
You can't rent here anymore.
Yeah.
You know. But, like I said, you can just do Tom Brady and just hang up on your radio interviews when they ask you a question that you don't want to talk about.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, yeah. That happened this past week.
I tend to avoid anything
That's
Tom Brady related.
That's
news.
his second radio show that he's walked out of in Boston. Is there any Boston sports shows left?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Well, the one was making fun of his daughter. It's like, oh, that's real nice. Making fun of a 4-year-old daughter. That's real nice at radio. That was last year.
Well, you know, they have no sense of humor.
Boston?
No, Tom Brady.
Oh, I meant Boston. Kids are off limits, I think.
Well, yeah.
Unless you're the Catholic Church.
technically.
Anyways, moving on.
Whoa.
Oh! What happened? Somebody say something? Oh, yeah, boo me. Don't boo the establishment. My bad. My bad. Blame the jokester.
That's right.
Sorry.
All right, next we have it from Mikael Leal. He said, what celebrities would you want to look like?
Zach Galifianakis.
Not that you look like. What
Well,
would
you're
you
going
like
for
to?
the beard. You got the Zach beard going.
Well, I'd want to look more like him, which would mean I probably lost about 50
No.
pounds. So I would like to be thin like Zach Galifianakis.
If your goal for losing weight is Zach Galifianakis,
That's all I want.
my goal is Jonah Hill. Whoa!
Hey, Jonah Hill got pretty damn thin there for a
He
while.
did. He did.
He did. Then he ballooned back up.
Then he realized he liked food.
And then got thin again.
He
and
realized he was
he's
rich.
yo-yoing.
Yeah, he realized he was rich. And he
doesn't?
didn't have to diet anymore.
And just have surgery.
Exactly.
No.
So, Blake, who would you like to look like?
I don't know. This did bring up an interesting retrospect.
Kristen Bell?
No.
You never leave the house.
That's true. You'd be naked in front of a mirror all day.
Unfortunately, Dax Shepard might
just
never
looking,
say.
just looking at myself. What are you thinking
You
about?
would be married to Dax Shepard.
He just looks like Kristen Bell. He
Yeah.
isn't Kristen
Yeah,
Bell.
that's how it was.
I was way mistaken.
Thank you, Jeff, for the clarification. Now, this gave me some retrospect. I was sitting there thinking, you know, like in high school, they said I looked like Michael J. Fox. And then somewhere in middle age, well, according to what I am now, somehow that changed to Robin Williams.
I could see that.
I could see that, yeah.
Isn't that a little scary? Isn't that quite a spectrum going from
Yeah,
Michael
it
J.
is.
Fox to Robin Williams?
Well, you don't shake anymore, so that helps.
It's true. But then, and I'm still alive. But then you guys brought up or whatever. I said I kind of look like Jeremy Renner now. Kind of.
Who says that?
Somebody did.
Are you
Who
making
was
that up?
it? No, I didn't make it up.
So who would you want to look like?
Chris Evans.
Kristen Bell.
I'm going Chris Evans. Because yum.
No, actually, I would pick Cristiano Ronaldo.
The statue or...
No, the real person.
I would advise you not to do the statue.
Cristiano's a good-looking guy, man.
Chris Evans.
He is a
Is
Latin.
he on your wife's list?
He is probably, most likely.
If she was allowed to have
Probably
one.
on most wives' lists.
She's a wife. She's allowed to have one.
He's probably on almost all wives' lists. I was
can see that.
talking to a coworker of mine. He was like, "Oh yeah, I watched Real Madrid, and my wife walked into the room, and Ronaldo scored a goal, and she's like, who's that guy?" I was like, "That's right, it's
Blake, you need to
Cristiano
leave the room.
Ronaldo." That's right.
Number one fan Doug said it hasn't been officially announced at Star Wars Hotel. This is Disney information here. He said it's $2,500 basically for a 2-night stay for a family of 4. That's a whole lot of fucking money.
Ugh. So much for the American dream.
Well, good news is, you're turning your kids into a serial killer because they're killing every kid out
That's
there with a lightsaber.
Running around killing younglings.
While you down some younglings.
Fulfilling the dreams of the 1%.
That's right.
The only
What would you do if I just run around running down the halls yelling, "Where are the younglings?" with a lightsaber?
In a 6-pack of Yingling?
Come out, younglings!
I would... Never mind. I'll shut up. Made enough priest jokes today.
Yeah. I might not be allowed near a Chuck E. Cheese, but this is Disneyland.
You can be in a seminary. Moving on. What else we got?
Woo! Bob. Is Jason aware his favorite movie, The Meg, is based on a novel and there are 6 sequels? How?
That is impressive that there's 6 sequels to this film.
There's 6 sequels.
book.
There's 6 sequels to Harry Potter, and that wasn't a good book.
So, we start, my oldest son, and my wife and I started reading that with him. Because he still has trouble.
The Meg?
Yes.
The Meg.
Why do you hate your son?
You know what? I can't follow anything up with that. Good job, Jeff. Don't play. Move on.
There you go.
I can't follow it up.
How do you like your humans with green eggs and green eggs and
Wait,
green?
well, that one, Jeff had it perfectly. Why did you have
shit.
to do it? Why'd you have to do it?
Sorry.
If we were a good podcast, we would cut that. but we're
Trying to
not.
do the Meg, you know.
Yeah. I'm going, you know
Cat
what?
in the Hat
We are a good
style.
podcast, but we're still not cutting that because we
Meg
want
and
you
the
to
Peg?
sit there in your
Wait,
failure.
the Peg and the Meg.
We want you to sit there in your failure.
I'm wallowing in it.
Just sit there and think about what you
I
did.
like to eat them with a peach. I like to eat them on the beach.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done.
Took me a couple minutes.
Yeah, I was just throwing shit out, you know.
Yeah, we know.
Exactly. All right, next
You know
one.
Robin Williams.
Randall, that's right. Randall Holt, Double Dare. The game show is going on tour and coming to Cincinnati. Are you going?
This was actually from Twitter, and my response was, Jeff and I could kick some ass in that. To which Nikki responded from Puma Zealy. She states, or your kids could go on it. Yeah, I guess they could.
That was my question. I was going to say, in regards to the audience, how many are going to be adults versus actual
Jeff
kids?
and you would be like, "Bing, bing."
And it's like,
I'd be very
I think
tempted.
maybe your son would enjoy running the obstacle
He does
course.
like the new one, the new show. But what they do is it's coming to Cincinnati, and the contestants are picked from the crowd. So I thought that was kind of fun.
That's what I'm saying. How many more adults are going to be in the crowd for this?
I'm not picking the nose, though. I hate that one. Or the locker. I'll do the locker.
You just want to get slimed.
Oh, God, no. No. But
Yeah, no, I'm kind of not a fan of the slime either.
No.
That's true. When it gets in your hair and ears, not good.
Oh, God.
Well, Jason has to worry about the hair part.
Yeah,
Aw.
just the ears.
Roger.
Or maybe the ear hair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? I'm too particular on that. There's no body hair on me. A little bit on the chest. That's about it.
There's no body hair.
Leg hair.
Jason scapes.
You have to.
All right, Kevin
Like
at
Edward
Cincy
Scissorhands.
Explorer.
Yep,
be
I see
very
hair on
careful.
your arm right now.
Okay, well, shut up.
I mean-
I meant the back and the privilege.
Well, you're
Shut up.
missing your mug. That's for sure. There's a lot of hair on your mug.
A goatee?
Well,
Yeah, 'cause my wife
You
won't-
can call it a goatee.
Let me tell you, my wife won't let me shave it.
I call it evil man hair beard.
Oh, I'm evil Blake. No, my wife won't let me shave the goatee.
Uh-huh.
So I've tried.
Well, yeah, whatever it takes to cover your face up.
Good point.
I miss Skype.
See, the thing is, your wife doesn't want to be your only beard.
And she knows I can't grow a beard.
Even funnier.
It's patchy. Fuck you all.
So, wow, we could call you Patchy.
Patches. I like patches.
Oh, if you like it, well, then no, it's back to Tool.
I like Tool. Hey, what else you got, Blake?
You're a Tool Patch. I don't even know what that means.
Kevin at Cincy Explorer. Anyone else see the ending of the trailers for DC films is no longer listed as DCEU? anymore. It's the worlds of DC. Thoughts?
I like this idea.
No, they should never have even tried to force. Just because Marvel had success with it doesn't mean DC had to follow suit.
The worlds is basically they're going to have in the comic books it's called Elseworlds. Basically different.
Infinite Earths.
Yeah, different universes and dimensions. And so I like this world. I like this idea. Because Joker is being made, which I'm not a big fan of. But I think that's Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Something like that, yeah.
They did say that Alec Baldwin was cast today as Thomas Wayne in that movie. So, good reason to miss it.
Yay.
So, so he's been cast today. And then one of the doctors of Doctor Who, he was cast in Star Wars today, Episode 9.
You don't know which doctor?
Matt
Smith?
There you go.
Smith? Ooh.
It's back to DC. I like this idea. You don't need it all connecting. You know, I would like it to connect, but you could just you don't have to have them. I would like them to if Green Lantern's somewhere, I don't have a problem if another superhero shows up. Yeah. You don't have to promote it, just have them cross over.
If they show up in a movie in a similar story, great. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be forced.
No.
I mean, they tried to force it way too quickly instead of just letting it occur naturally.
Yeah.
I would just like to have them make a good movie.
DC film?
Yeah.
Aquaman might be it.
No.
Shazam might be it.
Yes.
Wonder Woman was it.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was it.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
They made a good one. That's probably what Wonder Woman 2.
The next one's based in the 80s.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of fun.
I would say about 78% of the Wonder Woman film was good.
So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but
You just didn't like the 3/4.
why the hell did it take me? It took me 30 seconds to realize what you were saying.
Fly into the trash.
Yeah, just there it goes.
Just that part that was covered up.
I think I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. I thought the last part was dumb with the bad guy. I didn't like that one. Chris Pine's back somehow.
Yeah. You think he's playing a descendant or
I hope
a
not.
time
I hope
loosed? When the plane blew up, he was blasted forward in time?
No.
Maybe the Justice League mother boxes did it.
Could be.
Maybe
Except this takes place before the Justice League.
Maybe he's in there in
yeah.
flashbacks. Or he's in there a la It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as Wonder Woman's sex doll.
Okay, can we talk about this sex doll? If you go to the History of Bad Ideas Facebook page, at the History of Bad Ideas, you can follow us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast too. We post a lot of trailers, a lot of geek news and all that, and movie news and that stuff. The day after we had last week's episode came out on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. The next day, Sunny in Philadelphia trailer came out with the Dennis sex doll in the previews.
Yes.
Again, because entertainment moguls listen to us and they release stuff the day after we talk about it. That is the creepiest thing I have ever seen when Mac pulls out the doll. Go see the trailer for Sunny in Philly. Even if you never watched Sunny in Philly, he makes a sex doll because he's missing his best friend who has gone off the show. And just the mouth on it.
The therapist told him I have something Dennis shapes.
Yes. To fill the hole in me. And that was the line. And the mouth on the Dennis doll is the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Would you ever be desperate enough to buy a sex doll?
No.
Okay. It's a pretty easy answer.
Pretty easy answer.
I don't know how you could really enjoy that.
I don't know.
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
Well, they're trying to make AI. The whole AI.
Sex doll.
No, the whole AI thing is being driven by the sex doll industry.
Yes.
Well,
because
the
guys
sex
want to.
industry drives everything.
Yeah, exactly. It drives all
does.
technology.
Yes.
And
That going to the moon.
Yeah, I was just reading an article about it, and the whole reason they're pushing the doll AI is for sex, and I'm like,
I wonder how you
I mean, why
out.
would you want to have a sex doll with a female AI that's going to do nothing but nag you all the time? I mean, you want her to be.
Do you notice that it's all women sex dolls. There's no men's sex dolls out there.
That's all
Except for
driven by
Dennis.
perverts.
Except for Dennis. Yes.
Yeah, it's all driven by male perverts.
Male. This is why the human
Women
race
don't
is
get
failing.
into this. Exactly.
Women are like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know.
This is why.
My question is, after you have, relations with the sex doll, who cleans it out?
Ew.
I'm assuming you're responsible for your own
Did you
cleanup.
send it back and they have a cleaning service?
If you're rich enough, I suppose you can hire someone to come in and clean.
I'm sorry, what's your job, sir? I clean sex.
Then again, you can also hire prostitutes if you're rich enough, and you.
We have to negotiate. It's better
With
to do
sex
it.
dolls? With
No,
AI? I'm not
prostitutes.
negotiating.
You'd rather have an AI fake sex doll waiting for you to come home.
What's the line? You don't pay the prostitute for sex. You pay the prostitute to leave.
Yeah.
Well, this took a dark turn this week.
Ooh.
Moving on, this we got.
See, Jeannie, just be glad you weren't on this week.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Well, I need a
What?
exorcist after this.
Exactly.
What's from Fish? Let's lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Lighten it up.
I actually heard this story on NPR live as I was driving home. You probably listened to the same exact story on NPR. Per Fish, please discuss Nabisco. Yields to PETA's request. Actually, they listened to PETA and they came up with their own solution. They didn't go with PETA's solution.
Sorry.
But they still did. They take the animals out of their cages on the animal crackers.
The boxes.
Yes, on boxes of animal crackers.
They're now in an open field,
They're now on an open field, side by side with each other. and
safely to kill each other.
That's the irony of the whole thing.
Yeah, and right after the picture on the box was taken, the lion mauled the zebra.
Yeah,
Elephant trampled
exactly.
the gorilla. Oh
Well-
no, the zoo members killed the gorilla.
Actually, the way the news and the PETA guy reported is now that they are free, now they are free, uninhibited, walking side by side as they were meant to be. And I'm sitting there going, what kind of fucking idiot comes up with this shit? You're worried about animal cracker boxes?
Well,
In reality, the animals would not be together freedom. The lions would be eating the shit out of the zebras, and
That's all Madagascar. That's not true.
Oh no,
That's a good
that was
document.
funny.
that's a good documentary.
They're talking about how they were fixing the oppression of the animal cracker animals
Yes.
on the box. I'm like, these are first world problems. These are first world problems.
I think it's ridiculous anyways because the kids are going to bite their heads off anyway still.
it was representative of the repressive circuses that everybody is shut down now because of the horrible animal cruelty.
My favorite seemed to be a popular comment in the comment sections after the article was, if you look at the picture, they're not in cages. The bars are behind them.
Yeah, exactly. They're sticking out.
Yeah, they're in
And-
front of the cages.
And the best part is, you could take those animals and bite their heads off.
And then they're
Or you can maim them one leg at a time, make them suffer, and then when you feel pity, you bite their heads off. Good job, PETA. You didn't fix the problem.
you are the problem. I am the law.
It's also like chocolate Easter bunnies. You just
Oh.
okay. Jason doesn't like chocolate.
I'm not a big chocolate fan.
Okay, you're wrong. But
Wrong.
Well, PETA, they've had a big summer. They won the dinosaur rescue from Jurassic World, the new one. They were very happy with that. And then they won the Nabisco.
yeah, they
animal
freed
crackers.
the animal crackers.
They are 2 for 2 in the fictional world. So good for you. Good for you, PETA.
right.
I love the ability for you to just show up.
I'm still going to wear fake leather and fake fur. Huh.
Well, if it's fake, you're allowed
Does
to.
this mean I have to start eating fake animal crackers now, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's next? I hope Swedish Fish. I hope they get out of the tanks on the bows.
I'm just trying to figure out what would fake animal crackers be shaped like.
Humans.
Hush puppies. It's
Hush puppies.
well, it's an animal that's not really an animal.
Sea monkeys.
There you go,
They're just really shrimp.
No.
brine shrimp.
The back of the comic books when I was a kid told me they actually had personalities.
They're actually kings and queens? That's right.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Woo! Yeah, let's wrap this up in a PETA.
Ah!
Professor Number One at Doctor Number One said, if I wanted to dump a beer on Jason at the expo, which should I choose? And need I say, any IPA will do.
So pretty much anything Tony from Salty Language drinks.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I would suggest don't waste money on a beer to dump on Jason, so whatever's cheapest is probably what you should do. But if you decide money is no object, then whatever is the thickest beer
Guinness?
would probably be best.
No, Guinness is actually a good beer.
Ugh.
I didn't say it has to be if you would drink it or not. I'm just trying to think of the ones that would most annoy Jason being poured on him.
An IPA.
Jason would probably like an IPA on him.
Yeah.
No, he likes a UPA on him.
What? Urinary public attraction?
UPA
Urinary pee
on
attraction?
him. Never mind.
Mel
No,
B?
you as in the opposite of me.
Uh-huh.
P as in to urinate,
I don't get it.
and A as in you're Canadian.
I don't get
UPA.
Oh, I get it now. That's pretty funny, Robin. Okay, moving on. It's just some news of the geek.
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
Per Sci-Fi Wire, if you need any more proof that a zombie film barely worth enough to buy a car can still completely trample the box office, this is it. One Cut of the Dead is the name of the movie. Is the Japanese zombie comedy that has now infected the entire planet, except America. Directed by Shin Ichiro Yuda.
Ueda.
That was pretty close. Okay, better than you thought.
Yeah, much better.
Thank you.
Well, I think Ichiro just because of the famous baseball player.
Never heard of him. He's filmed the movie in 8 days, and it has moaned and groaned and shambled to superstardom from a $27,000 budget to almost $10 million in revenue worldwide. That's pretty impressive. Showing at Italy's Udine Far East Film Festival. Udine.
Italy's.
Got it as standing ovation. And the audience award. The movie has also, believe it, 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's great.
Hey, take that, Crazy Rich Asians.
The movie opens with a nonstop 37-minute shot that was all done in one take.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I suppose they don't actually use film nowadays.
I mean, if it was actually on an iPhone, that'd be even more impressive.
Well, I'm just thinking, film, you can't shoot 37 minutes of film.
And the movie follows a director. The movie is a director who decides to film a zombie movie, very meta, in an abandoned World War II military facility that was once a charnel house of ghastly human experiments. It's a party until reanimated bodies starving for human flesh start creeping out the dark recesses of the place. Except the actual corpses are indistinguishable from actors in the ghoulish makeup until people actually start getting eaten.
Did he say ghoulish?
Ghoulish.
I can't hear you if you maybe sat up. Anyways. So basically, the movie stars a guy that's filming a movie about zombies, and there's actual zombies there.
And you don't know who's a zombie and who's an actor in makeup.
Even though it's a horror comedy, One Cut of the Dead grabs you by the neck, since it sinks its rotten teeth into your flesh, and refuses to let go is the one review.
Ba-da-bump.
The point of...
POV.
makes you actually feel
Point of view.
I don't get that. Makes you actually feel like you're trapped in that infested building and getting terrorized with the cast and film crew. Even when some of the fake zombies get mistaken for real zombies and vice versa. The virus has been slow, the movie, has been slow in spreading to the U.S., if it does at all. But you might get a discount if you happen to be somewhere where it's showing and walk into the theater in a zombie costume.
I don't think anyone's going to give you a discount.
So it's not in the U.S. yet. I would like to see this.
Yeah.
I think it would be funny. So there you go.
Well, if they open in the U.S., it'll lose its 100% Rotten Tomato.
Yeah.
Someone will hate it.
Scab Jeff.
They'll get a second reviewer. Other than the director.
And then this is for Blake. It's not The Lord of the Rings, but Apple is turning another fantasy film into a TV series. The tech giant is nearing a deal to adapt the 1981 cult favorite Time Bandits, which we've talked about many times on the show. into a TV show for its upcoming streaming service, according to Deadline. Co-written and directed by Terry Gilliam, 12 Monkeys and the Fisher King, Time Bandits centers on an imaginative boy who's whisked away on a time-traveling journey by a group of dwarves looking to steal riches throughout history. Along the way, they run into famous figures like Napoleon Bonaparte at the water park, and Robin Hood.
That was a different time travel movie.
I don't think it is. And Robin Hood, played by Kevin Costner, and they get mixed up in epic adventures. Film became a surprise hit at the box office and remains a treasured classic for sci-fi and fantasy fans. I didn't know it was a hit at the box office. Gilliam will serve as executive producer on the Apple adaptation, if it goes to series. But that's a big if at this point, since Apple now has more than a dozen TV shows in the works.
No shit.
What's wrong with a dozen? I mean, every network has more than 12 shows.
Yeah.
Come
On
on.
NBC.
Not one that's called Dragonlance. Thank you.
Are you excited about Time Bandits?
No. Actually, tell you the truth, the movie's okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it a shitty ending?
It was.
I don't
In the
remember.
movie?
I don't even remember the ending.
And it was a lump of coal in a microwave.
All I remember is them moving a wall.
Yeah.
They even have a microwave in 1981?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the
Or
size of the Bob Studios, but they had one.
I just remember the ending sucked. It didn't make any sense.
Maybe going back now it'll make more sense.
I kind of
Especially you being a fan of some Terry Gilliam's works.
True.
I like the story idea of the dwarves, going through stealing treasures. I like that idea.
That was already done in The Hobbit.
Yes, but this one will not be 18 hours. This could go on for 7 seasons and still be a shorter shorter series in the films.
Tolkien could do it without time travel.
Well, the whole point of it was time travel. It's in the title.
What's Terry Gilliam doing with time travel movies? Brazil, 12 Monkeys,
Don Quixote.
Time Bandits.
Don Quixote.
Yeah, he went back in time and filmed it.
Okay.
Sure.
There's your News of the Geek.
Hey, this is Christian.
Hey, this is Damon.
And this is The Amazing Nerd Show. We're a podcast that takes a deep dive into nerd culture. Every episode, we will talk comics, movies, video games, and even wrestling. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Podbean. The Amazing Nerd Show. The show you never knew you wanted.
Jeff, where are you doing September 14th through the 16th?
I'm going to be at the Cincinnati Comic Expo.
At the Duke Energy Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. We will be there. Hobie will have their own booth. And you can come by and see us and play some trivia and win some fabulous prizes. Jeff, are you excited about playing trivia?
I'm excited about beating people at trivia.
That's right. If you try to beat us, well, we have nothing. You probably still walk away with something.
Well, yeah, but the difference is picking from the loser bag or getting a fabulous prize.
And the loser bag is the Nicolas Cage pillowcase bag.
Yes.
So it has his face on it. But anyways, that's not the important thing. The important thing is Cincinnati Comic Expo. Go to CincinnatiComicExpo.com to get your ticket. They've been announcing people even through this week. You were 17 days away and they're still announcing it. They have Carl Urban is going to be there. Summer Glau
Yes.
is going to be there.
Chewbacca himself will be there. Peter Mayhew.
That's right. William Zabka had to cancel, but because they're filming Cobra Kai season 2. But Agent Phil Coulson is going to be there. So that if you're upset that Zabka's not going to be there, we got another great TV star and movie star in the Clark Gregg. Also, Manu Bennett is going to be there. Deathstroke from Arrow. I'm getting his picture. I'm getting a
Are
picture
you?
with him. Yeah, I am.
Are you getting a picture of him cutting your head off?
Oh, that's a good one. I was trying to figure out what we could do. If we could do that, and then serving it into the Hobie shot glass.
There you go.
I got to figure that out. I don't think that's going to be possible. Anyway, so Manu Bennett's going to be there. Also, take a look. It's in a book.
LeVar Burton.
That's right. From Star Trek, The Next Generation, and... obviously-
Reading Rainbow.
The man who had a painted banana clip over his eyes for Star Trek The Next
That's
Generation.
right. Welcome to the 80s and 90s. Also, lots and lots of G.I. Joe voice actors are going to be there. I'm excited about that.
G.I. Joe. A real American hero.
I don't think the voice of Barbecue will be there, though.
Oh.
Yeah, Flint, Lady J, a lot more. I'm excited about that. Voice of Mario is going to be there. And lots and lots and lots of...
Is the voice of the guy who says pork chop sandwiches going to be there?
I don't know that one. Oh. Anyways, lots of comic book artists and writers are going to be there. Not to, not talk about them, but yes, they have a great lineup this year as well. Also, Source Point Press is going to be there.
We heard.
From Travis McIntyre and Monstrous. Not Greg Wright, though. But anyway, so yes, go to CincinnatiComicExpo.com, get your tickets. It's September 14th through 16th, and go see Hobie while you're there.
It's time for Box Office Bombs.
Yes, Marty, it is time for Box Office Bombs. I'll start with the bomb of the week. To Jason's dismay, Happy Time Murders failed to gain an audience. Critics disliked it, 23% average on Rotten Tomatoes, and audiences gave it a poor word of mouth, C- on Cinema Score.
That is shocking. Nothing gets C- on Cinema Score.
It's probably because she didn't shit in a sink.
Yeah. It is the lowest start for a Melissa McCarthy wide-release film to date, ducking under Life of the Parties, $17.9 million. Let's see. It's also notable that The Meg and Crazy Rich Asians' success sucked all the air out of the room for Happy Time. The film was hoping to bring in the comedy crowd and the fandom-heavy crowd, both of which helped push Sausage Party to $34.3 million start, but audiences disagreed. Now, Happy Time is looking at maybe $35 million domestically and looking to lose on its $40 million budget.
I guess I better see this quick.
You probably should, if you want to see it.
Nah, I'll go see it. I was all excited about it. It's been in developmental hell for like 10 years. Maybe I should have stayed there.
The non-bomb of the week.
Intern Hackney thought this was interesting.
Crazy Rich Asians, an unstoppable force in its second week, brought down $25 million, only down 6% from its opening weekend.
That's impressive.
Still at number one.
That's impressive.
It is the fourth lowest non-holiday weekend drop of all time for a film of over 3,000 theaters. Behind only, I love this, Mother's Day April of 2016 went up 33% in its second week. Shrek in May of 2001 went up 0.4%. And October 2011's Puss in Boots dropped 3%.
Fuck Puss in Boots. How the hell is that?
Because it didn't do great in the first run, so in the first week, so if it dropped, yeah.
Is that Mel B's documentary?
Because it is Antonio Banderas.
I'm Antonio Banderas.
I'm Antonio Banderas. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I don't think that's what he was.
I am Antonio Banderas. Drop your panties.
Stop saying that. What else we got? First off, I may be seeing Crazy Rich Asians this weekend.
All right.
My wife and I might go see a movie, and I thought it was something that she would like. And I've seen maybe half a trailer for this, and it's getting good reviews, and I'm intrigued to see it.
It's getting great reviews.
And they're making a sequel.
All right. The top five this week. Number one, Crazy Rich Asians made $25 million, a total of $77 on a $30 million budget. They're making a sequel. Number two, somehow The Meg made another $13 million, a total of $105.5 on a $130 million budget.
To quote one of my favorite wrestlers,
so it still hasn't gotten its budget back.
To quote Bobby, it made $430 million worldwide.
Worldwide, but we're talking domestic because domestic is the only thing that counts.
Oh, yeah. America. To quote Bobby Roode, glorious.
That's right, because we can't do math and convert.
I know. I mean, they don't buy their tickets in dollars in the foreign box office. I don't know how they figure out how many it made.
Exactly.
It made $0 in Asia because they don't use dollars.
Correct.
Okay. So number three this week, the Happy Time Murders made $10 million in its opening weekend on a $40 million budget.
I don't think it's going to make $35 million domestically.
I don't even think they advertised the movie.
They do. I've seen.
They did?
Yeah, it's mostly
I've
online
never seen
because
it
they've had a
ever.
lot of Red Band trailers.
Maybe it's online. I watch a lot of YouTube, so that's where I see most of my ads.
Yeah.
That's probably where they all were. Mission Impossible Fallout made another $8 million, a total of $194 million on a $178 million budget. See, that got its money back on like the Meg so far.
Oh, Meg is awesome. Glorious.
And Christopher Robin made another $6.5 million, a total of $78 million on a $75 million budget. Again, it made its budget back.
So you know how Disney's doing all these live action movies, like
Yes.
with their classics? There was an article in, I think it was Collider.
Collider.
Anyways, they were saying about how, it's a connected universe now. Like all Disney is doing is connected universe with their live action, cartoons and that. And the article, I read it halfway through, and I'm like, this is the worst article. They're not connected. Like, they kept trying to, do it.
Because they're live action. So you mean like The Lion King will be connected to the Jungle Book?
They were trying to joke about this, or not joke, but it was an actual article, and everybody in the comment section said, no, you're wrong. This is awful. You're just trying to make a connected universe. Just stop. Not all of this has to be connected. Pooh does not have to be connected to the Jungle Cruise.
No.
Or Jungle Book.
I like the Jungle Cruise.
There you go.
Jungle Cruise.
I just thought that was kind of funny, though. Like, everybody's just trying to, let's have a connected universe. No.
Speaking of, news and et cetera, and, news of the geek and et cetera, you used to reference El Marimbe
El Mayimbe.
a lot. What happened?
I don't know. We need to get intern Hackney to look at El Mayimbe.
Yeah.
He did have it. Keep going. Let's see if I can find anything on him.
All right. Well, going on, upcoming this glorious best day of the year on August 31st.
Oh boy.
We have Operation Finale.
Yes.
That looks like a good movie. That's the one where they're hunting the Nazis in Argentina.
The Nazi Eichmann.
Yeah.
The constructor of the Final Solution, better known as the Holocaust.
Yes.
And how they apprehend him in Argentina, based on a true story.
So I think it looks like a good movie.
Yeah, it does. It's got Ben Kingsley in it, and I like Ben Kingsley.
He plays a bad guy, though. I don't know if I can like him being a bad guy.
I like him being a bad guy.
He was great as the bad guy in Iron Man 3.
He was great as the bad guy in Gandhi.
Wow. And also coming out, something I know nothing about, Kin.
James Franco.
Starting
Dennis
off
Quaid.
bad. Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Not Randy Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Craig?
Yeah.
Is he the new Bond?
No, Dennis Quaid.
Oh, I thought maybe it was Jenny Craig's brother or something.
yeah.
My God, that's a name I haven't heard in ages. Sorry.
Yeah, I had to look this up because I had no idea what it was, but it's something about a bunch of brothers on the run from a gang with a weird weapon. It didn't make any sense. I read the IMDb.com and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. What is this about? But it's James Franco, so it's probably weird.
El Mayimbe.
There you go.
He has Once Upon a Time in Hollywood adds Rumor Willis, Margaret Qualley, and Damon Harriman. That's his scoop.
I have no clue what you just said. You mentioned three people's names. That's all.
They're starring in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the movie.
What's El Mayimbe? Is he like still with the same?
No, he's no longer with I don't know, that one guy, the big redhead guy.
Okay, wherever we were getting our stories from before.
No, he went out on his own. Ain't it cool news? That's what it was.
Oh, he was with that.
Yeah. And he went out on his own.
Well, it
He
ain't cool
tweets
news
out.
anymore, so we'll follow El Mayimbe.
Yes.
And get his scoops.
Yeah. So there you go.
Which apparently he has no scoop. So, buy, sell, as we talked about the Hollywood Stock Exchange earlier, these are the stocks of these people in Hollywood. Melissa McCarthy, she is at $86.28. Comparison to Kristen Wiig at $85.73.
Sell
them both.
Sell.
Whoever Becky G is.
I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming.
Is at $31.24. Compared to Ashley Tisdale, whoever she is, at $38.28.
I don't get it.
Time out. So a little inside baseball knowledge here. Intern Hackney and I work on the show notes, and on our Libsyn, where they host our podcast.
Libsyn.
You do a description for iTunes, and we sometimes do like ahead of time. Do it. What we're going to
figure out what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So you jump the gun sometimes.
Yeah, just to save some time. And Hackney and I were talking about this today, and the in the paragraph for the description it says, "And Jeff doesn't know who Becky G is." We knew you.
You predicted.
Yes, we knew you did not know who Becky G is.
Who is she?
She's in a movie.
What?
One of the movies that came out this week. Oh, she's probably in Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes. She's an American singer and actress. There you go.
Or is she in Happy Time Murders? Oh.
No. She's a musician. And keep going. I don't know.
All right. Well, at $31.
She's in Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
The new one.
At $31.24, are you going to buy or sell stock in Becky G?
I'll buy.
Especially if they're making another sequel to Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, I'll buy with that.
But I'll sell Ashley Tisdale because I don't know her either. I've heard the name, but I'm like, I can't tell you anything she's done.
I could not either.
And then also, for some reason, Thomas Jane is back in our collective
he's in a movie.
What movie was he in?
He was in, what was the top 5 here?
Top 5 was...
No, he was in a movie that bombed as well.
Oh, he was in something that came out and no one saw.
No, she wasn't in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, then why'd you tell me she was?
I don't know. When we get to top 5, I'll figure out what she was in. There was a movie that bombed at the box office this week.
Well, if it's bombing, then I don't want her. Especially for $31.
Bye.
But anyway, Thomas Jane is at $4.38.
Oh, AXL. That's what she was in.
I don't know what AXL was.
Yeah, it was made for $5 million and it made like $1 million this week. And Thomas Jane's in it too.
Ah.
So there you go.
Well, at $4.38, Thomas Jane isn't. That's a deal.
I'm buying Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane will have at least one good movie coming out during the rest of his career.
I did get a note from intern Hackney saying, "Fuck you for trying to find somebody at $4 on IMDb." Who was the comparison?
This is the best comparison. Compared to Scott Speedman at $2.49.
Jeff, remember when he was going to be the next big star?
I don't.
Okay.
I remember when people kept saying it, but I still didn't see it. Remember when Underworld came out? And wow, Scott Speedman was,
AXL is a top secret robotic dog who develops a special friendship with Miles and will go to any length to protect his new companion.
That sounds worse than Alpha.
Sounds like an episode from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
As Becky G, she plays a character named Sarah. Thomas Jane plays a character named Chuck Hill.
Well, since Thomas...
Ted McGinley's in it.
Ooh, can't be bad then.
I like that.
Since Thomas Jane is $4 and Becky G is $31, I'll put my money in Thomas Jane. And when they decide to make another Punisher movie with Thomas Jane, he'll boost that box office.
Dominic Raines is in it too.
Whoever he is.
I don't know. He was in Burn Country.
All right, well, that was your box office news of the week. That music means it's top 5 time.
Jeff, what's our top 5?
Our top 5 is our top 5 favorite movies that flopped at the box office.
So, we like them.
But when they were released...
They did not do good. Jeff, according to the box office. They may have been critically acclaimed, but nobody saw them. Blake, what was yours?
They didn't do well.
They didn't do well.
Box office.
That's fine. It's left up to interpretation.
Oh, did he say good?
Yes.
Is that what you were correcting his grammar?
Yes. Actually, this is top 5 movies that flopped at the box office, is what it said.
Yeah. You
Box
said
office.
didn't do good, and he
But-
was saying well. He was correcting
I'm
your
only a
grammar.
communications major with a minor in writing.
He's a communications major, too.
Dear God.
So
who
was
would-
I.
I know. Communications powers activate. Form of
a podcast.
Form of useless degree.
Well, it could be worse. You could have a political science degree.
Dear God.
That's what Jim has.
Talk about wasted degree. Okay, Blake, what's your number 5?
All right, my number 5, bringing this out. I've talked about this movie before, back in the early days of Hobie, and that was 1995's 4 Rooms, starring Tim Roth, Antonio Banderas, Sammy Davis, and a bunch of other famous cameos.
Directed by 4 different people.
4 different people.
Each room was directed by a different director.
Correct.
And it was, Tim Roth's Bellboy was the link between them all.
The link between them all, 4 separate stories. And it was produced by, of course, Rodriguez and Tarantino.
I'm sorry, what was the name?
4 Rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was looking it up. It only pulled in $4 million.
On a budget?
They don't give a budget.
Okay.
I was looking. I tried to see.
But I'm sure.
No, the budget was $4 million. Gross was $4,300,000. 4.3. 4.0 and 4.3.
Okay.
You know. So, and the best part is, of course, tied together by Tim Roth, the bellhop. The music by Combustible Edison.
Ooh.
Yes.
They blew up.
Lots of cameos of famous stars and actors that were in the movie before they became famous stars.
Cher.
My famous no.
James.
No.
Jim Carrey.
My favorite episode was
Marcel.
Don't Misbehave.
Was that the one with the kids?
Yes, that's where the kids that are left left in the hotel room by the mobster. Antonio Banderas.
Drop your pantos.
Drop your panties. And, of course, the finale, of course, is great with Bruce Willis and Tarantino and pretty hilarious. Tim Roth probably puts the cherry on top at the end there.
Did the gimp come in?
Cherry pie.
No gimps.
No.
Sorry.
My number 5, and I'm not doing this to fuck everyone else up here. Here's my thing.
Oh, yeah, I know, because you have yours on our outline here.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
Oh, well.
I know what your number 5
you did?
is.
Not yours.
Oh.
I printed an extra one out for Jeff.
Ah, shit. Okay.
So here's the reason why I did it is I based it on how much they lost. So this one didn't lose too much, and it actually eventually made money.
right.
Well, a little bit. Shawshank Redemption, my favorite movie of all time, made $16 million on a budget of $25 million. So one of my favorite films of all time. Andy Dufresne.
Well, you didn't screw with my list. That only made honorable mentions.
Okay.
And he fought the sisters every time.
And Kevin from Cincy Explorer actually has a little bit more information about it later on.
more information.
Kevin, for some reason, thought we were going to deny it was a box office flop.
No, we know.
It's like, we're well aware of that. It's number 1 on every list we search on the line.
Also, just to let you guys know, listener feedback has been great. If you guys can send us any questions or topics you want us to talk about, we got 3 shows to fill at the expo. And we would love any topics or questions. Just send them to us at Bad Ideas Podcast or on Facebook at History of Bad Ideas. I'm being serious. Just go ahead and send it. Jeff, what's your number 5?
My number 5, we were discussing Terry Gilliam earlier. Mm-hmm. And I'm going with a Terry Gilliam film, The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen.
Ah!
I hated that movie.
I liked that movie.
You liked it?
I did.
I was disappointed by it. I actually I forced people to go to the movie theater with me, and they're like, "Why'd you make us come watch this movie?"
Because you didn't understand the Terry Gilliam aesthetic at the time. That's why.
Okay.
Now that you know the Terry Gilliam aesthetic, you can
ahead.
after you watch Time Bandits again, you can go back and watch Baron von
And watch what the
Munchausen.
lump of coal is in the microwave at the
Did you
end.
know how much it cost to make?
No.
Okay, I'll give you some.
It fit the flop rule as made less than its budget.
It made $8 million
$8 million.
domestically. Production budget $47 million, 46.5.
Ooh.
It's a rough one. Jeff, what's your number 4?
Well, my number 4, yeah. I was looking to ruin your list since you showed me your list, but now I can't change the order of my list.
Go ahead.
Because you're going to ruin one of mine.
Go ahead.
But,
Damn it.
No, my number 4 is a movie that I know Jason hates, but it's one that he knows
Spice
I
Girls?
like. No, I think that made money.
Pussycat Girls, or whatever that is.
Yeah, no. Solaris.
Oh, God.
It was
If you need a cure for insomnia, that's a good one.
it's a good movie.
What was it?
Solaris, George Clooney, remake of the old Russian movie. Now, the Russian movie was like 4
Syriana?
hours. No, Solaris.
It's awful.
Not awful.
Made $14.9 million on a budget of $47 million.
Yes,
That was Clooney's first big bomb since he really.
since he
Left
became
General Hospital?
Yes.
or ER, whichever.
Or ER, whatever.
You've talked about that film decent. I feel like a lot of these movies we've talked about.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know at least 3 of these
we're
on
gonna
my list
revisit
have
some
been
of these, yeah.
talked a lot about.
Here's another one. I enjoyed this film a lot more than I ever thought I would. Solo, a Star Wars story. Reason why it was number 4, made $213.5 million on a budget of $275 million minimum. That's what Disney said it cost. Rumor is it's $400 million it cost to make.
But it still made
With
200.
marketing and everything else.
It's still a loss, yes, but it still made $200 million.
Yeah, but it lost in the red after everything was $130 million.
It was an okay movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was great, but I did find myself caught up in moments.
I enjoyed it a
We
lot more.
discussed it, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Hey,
it.
did you see the dice? Because I don't know if you saw the dice. Did they show the dice enough?
Yes, I saw the dice.
They made sure you knew the dice were there.
Yes. No one cared about the fucking dice. Anyways, go ahead. What's your number 4?
Oh, go ahead. All right, my number 4. And by the way, these, I'm verifying the budget versus grosses now, but I just went through and wrote down movies that I knew didn't do well at the box office, but if I see them on TV, I'm going to stop and watch them.
Okay.
Right? So let me clarify that. So next one, I loved it, is Linkletter. I love Linkletter stuff, and it is Dazed and Confused. And of course,
Oh, that didn't do well at the box office?
No, it did not.
How much did it make?
It had, I had it here pulled up here in a moment. Let me pull out my Hackney. A budget of 6.9, and it only made 7.9.
So it
only
made its
$1
money.
million. But you got to pay everybody still.
It didn't make money after that.
Yeah,
When you pay everybody in the 6.9, that's what the 6.9 means. That's why it's the budget.
Yeah,
So it made $1 million.
yeah, but I'm sure there's, indirect costs that go with this film.
When you are a independent filmmaker and you make your budget back, you're thrilled.
Blake, I approve your pick.
Okay,
What's your number 3?
Thank you. All right, so that's my number 4, Dazed and Confused.
There's number 3.
So, all right, my number 3. Now I gotta look this up because
I got it. What do you need?
Running back.
What you got?
I loved the original Blade Runner.
Well,
Yes, I
Jason's wrong
did.
again. So what I've learned
1982.
right now is Jason doesn't like science fiction.
I do.
No, you don't. You just poo-pooed the only 2 science fiction movies we discussed so far.
I like
Okay.
Star Wars.
Yeah, we covered
and-
science fiction.
I did.
Thank you. And it, 1, doesn't meet Jason's criteria, which means I'm right. And number 2, it meets your criteria, which means I'm right again.
Yeah.
Because it was a budget of $28 million, gross 27.
Yep, did not make its budget
Opening
back.
weekend, only $89,000.
That had to have been a limited release, I would think.
Wake up. Time to die.
On Twitter last night, Besotted Geek, great podcast. Pittsburgh Nerd, good podcast, except for that Ian guy.
Ian.
And then me got into a 50 to 75 Twitter response about Ridley Scott's directing ability and Blade Runner. And it all started with this question.
Oh, no.
So get ready, kids.
Great.
So if you want to look that up on Twitter, and you can see what everyone is saying.
Moving on, my number 3.
Except
Is
for me,
my
I
number
don't have
3.
Twitter.
It is your number 3.
It is my number 3.
You're going to have to copy, paste, and email me.
King Arthur. 2004, I think.
2004.
Like that movie?
I
Anton
love King
Fuqua directed
Arthur.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're the only 2 people in the world that did, apparently. I thought it was a great movie.
Keira Knightley kicked ass in it as Guinevere.
Clive Owen was great as Arthur.
Arthur, King of the Britons? King of the Who? Actually, that might be my best impression ever.
No, not really.
Oh. It sounded good coming out.
So did Vomit. But
King Arthur made $52 million on a budget of $120 million. It was a big Hollywood production.
I think Disney screwed it up to begin with.
They should have kept it R.
It was supposed to be a Christmas time R-rated release, but they realized they didn't have a summer tentpole movie, so they forced them to speed up production so it would be ready for the summer, knock it to a PG-13, and release it to a crowd that
was not looking for that in the summertime.
And I suppose
the
they had
R-rated version is good.
Yeah, if you get the is it R-rated or not rated?
Not rated.
The not rated version on DVD or Blu-ray.
And when they're on the ice pond, that was one of my favorite scenes of a battle. That was awesome.
Oh, wait. I didn't know you watched Game of Thrones.
I don't know what that is.
Game of Thrones stole that from King Arthur.
Unlike Game of Thrones, King Arthur actually has an ending.
I got nothing.
No, what's your number 3, Jeff? King Arthur.
My number 3 is King Arthur.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is what you were alluding at earlier and couldn't say.
Okay.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, you knew that was coming.
Yes.
Josie and the Pussycats was the best movie ever. They said so in the movie.
Especially to watch at home with no pants.
Josie and the Pussycats made $14 million. Worldwide, Josie and the Pussycats domestically made $14.2 million. Worldwide, it made $14.8 million total.
So probably was barely released out of the U.S.
Budget of $39 million.
Yes, I just think, anybody who hasn't seen it probably doesn't even know what it's about. They just assume something,
Pussycats.
and it's not what they think it's about. So I'll put it that way.
It's actually about hunting a Nazi.
It is. It's a real good Nazi hunting movie.
My number 2.
So you're saying Operation Finale is a ripoff? Josie and the Pussycats?
Exactly. Shot for shot remake.
My number 2 is my favorite comedy, but I couldn't put it higher because it didn't make that low of a budget.
I did put it higher.
I know what it is.
What?
Clue.
There you go. Let us in.
Let us out. That's my number 1.
Made $14 million on a budget of $15 million. So we've talked a lot about it. It's awesome.
Everybody listening to this podcast knows our opinions.
Everyone knows that Clue is the best movie ever made.
It's just a red herring.
And it didn't make its money back at the box office, so it had to be number 1 on my list.
Blake, what's your number 2?
My number 2 was still considered a box office bomb. That's
It only made $30 million.
No, net, yes. It netted $30 million off of its budget compared to gross, and that's, of course, the Dude Abides.
Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
That was on all the lists I looked of great movies that were flops at the box office.
Made 200 million DVD sales.
It's amazing, isn't it? Really think about it. These movies that, literally most of the movies we've talked about on the list are movies that flopped at the box office. It became parts of American vernacular. Mostly. Wait until you get my number 1.
What is your number 1?
Oh, my number 1.
Hey, it's time for your number 1.
By the way, this had a budget of $16 million. It only grossed $12.8.
All right.
And it starred Sean Connery.
The Rock?
No.
Entrapment.
I think the explosion in The Rock cost more than $16 million.
Welcome to The Rock.
1986's Highlander.
There can only be one.
There
Oh.
can only be one.
Flannis Flanagan.
I didn't realize Highlander.
Christopher Lambert, yeah.
I think any movie that grossed as many sequels and spin-offs as Highlander did, I don't think I even considered would have been considered a flop.
And I remember the first time I watched the movie, I had no clue that this movie was out at the theater. I was probably like in high school at home. It was like HBO came on. It was like Highlander, HBO, dun dun dun. The big O comes and hits you in the face.
Yeah.
And I started watching this movie. I'm like, what is this movie? And I'm like, what is this movie?
Well, it's a great movie. The soundtrack
Sean
kicks
Connery,
ass.
James Bond. What's this movie?
Seamus O'Flanagan. There can only be one.
It was Connor McLeod.
Yeah,
Seamus O'Connor.
I'm Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod. I was born
right.
on McClomin in every year.
The Kraken. The
Kraken?
Yes.
Clancy
Released
Brown.
the Kraken.
And stuff, and the
Clanky.
soundtrack was like 80s synthesizer punk and
Queen.
Queen. It was
Four
almost all
Queen songs.
Yeah, like a Queen soundtrack. And I remember watching this movie. I'm like,
Here we
What is this
are,
movie?
born to be kings.
How did I not
We're
know
the
this movie existed?
Princes of the universe.
Because it was awesome.
It was. I was even thinking that because we were discussing this, and I'm like, well, the Queen soundtrack probably cost them so much money. That's why it flopped. They had to pay Queen so much money. Because we were discussing when I was trying to come up with this list, Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
That actually made its budget back. So, but again, a Queen soundtrack, and then so I was thinking of Queen soundtrack. So I even thought of this, but I'm like,
Highlander.
Highlander had to made money. They made like 4 Highlander movies and a 7-year television show.
Yeah, they came out Highlander 2, which I tolerated, and then 3 and 4, I'm like, oh my god.
No, 2 is the worst.
It was horrible.
2 is the worst. 3
And
or
the
4
TV
were
show, I
okay.
can't
was
do the
Aliens.
TV show. It was horrible.
2 is the one that took everything
Yeah.
from the first one and shit on it. And then 3 ignored that 2 happened.
Probably the best.
Yeah, it's like a modern Star Wars trilogy.
My number one, first off, it didn't make good money at all, but I really enjoyed this film, and I watched it probably in the last year or so, and I really enjoyed it. My reason it was number one is that they could have done a whole big world with this, and I think that's what they were trying to do, and it just bombed at the box office. Animated film, Titan AE. Matt Damon played the lead voice, and Creed was in it, the song, soundtrack by Creed.
Oh, I thought you meant Creed Bratton from The Office.
No. $37 million on a budget of anywhere between 75 and 90 million. They can never pinpoint it much. It made a lot. It bombed. They were expecting it to be the Star Wars of animated films.
Yeah, I remember when that movie came out, and we talked about we were going to go see it at the box office at the theater, and then you went and saw it without me.
And then I said, I'll go see it with you again because I really enjoyed it. And then it was gone.
Yeah, then it was out of the theater. It's like, where'd it go?
So that was my number one. Really missed opportunity. So
What was the name?
Titan AE. It's a cartoon. So it was a little bit.
I remember it.
Yeah, it was a little bit more adult oriented.
And it was, I think, one of the first ones that kind of was trying to get a realistic look to its. Yeah.
So
before they did the
Final Fantasy.
yeah, I think this was a year before Final Fantasy, wasn't it? The Spirits Within.
Oh.
And then before they had the motion capture of the Polar Express.
Oh, make it stop!
Those are the creepiest looking.
I don't understand why Polar
Animated
Express
people.
is a beloved film.
It's terrible.
Because of the book, maybe?
No.
But it ruins the book.
Steven Tyler is an elf in it. And he plays music from Aerosmith as an elf
Oh, it's horrible.
at the pool. Jeff, what is your number one?
My number one's Clue.
Okay. No one had Gods of Egypt?
Oh my
Or
god.
Sinbad, the
Jesus.
whatever journeys.
Sinbad.
I almost wanted to look up Conan the Barbarian. I almost wanted to put this on my list.
Which one?
The original with
Okay,
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I wanted to see,
Well,
what
they
was
made
the
a
box
sequel. That
office.
couldn't have bombed that bad if they made a sequel to it.
I had one honorable mention. I had A Simple Plan.
Was that Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I like that one.
Yeah.
16 million on a budget of 30 million. Jeff, any honorable mentions?
Conan had a budget.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, Conan had a budget of 20 and grossed 39, so it almost double his. All right, but I had
And then they
several
got
here that
Grace
I wrote down
Slick
too.
to be in the, or not Grace Slick, Grace Jones to be in the sequel. There's a difference between Grace Slick and Grace Jones.
What's your honorable mentions, Blake, real quick?
Well, this was really a box office. It's become a cult hit. It's Weissau's The Room.
Oh,
The movie that.
yes.
Have you ever watched
Tearing me
it?
apart, Lisa!
Oh my God! You have not watched this movie.
haven't
I've seen the cinema
It is
scenes of
so
it.
bad. You have to watch it, and it's actually enjoyable because it's so bad.
The football.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yes.
Yeah, and oh my God, it's hilarious. And so Franco, I have yet to watch the Franco movie about this
Yeah, I kind of want to see that.
movie, The Room. And
Disaster artist.
yeah, the disaster artist. I never knew throwing a football from 3 feet away could be so exciting. It's a male bonding experience as compared.
Let's do that next
Room.
podcast, Blake. Me and you.
Oh, hey, okay.
Just throw a football across the table.
yeah.
We're about 3 feet apart.
And then there's things that happen in the plot that just don't make any sense. And you're like, why is this here? I don't understand.
What else you got, Blake?
What I said, Big Lebowski. I had, here's something I didn't know, actually looking stuff up. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Rightfully so.
It was a great
No.
movie.
You know,
Ugh.
no. Originally, when it came out in '71, it was a box office bomb, supposedly. But I didn't know that Gene Wilder apparently. I still think is one of his best performances.
It's a great performance by Gene Wilder.
You know, and
Johnny Depp did it better.
Some people
No, he
consider it a
didn't.
bomb, but it's a better movie than what it bombed. Here's one that's interesting: Fight Club.
Yeah,
You know,
that was on a couple people's list.
Yeah.
and Office Space.
Yep.
And I know that was on a couple people's lists.
I was never a fan of Fight Club.
I kind of like the concept of it.
I
kinda
think
like
maybe it was blown out of proportion before I saw it. Everybody talked
Yeah.
about how great it was.
Yeah.
That when I saw it, I'm like, eh?
If you know the ending, is it still a good film?
I don't know. I was not a big fan of it to begin
I'm
with.
just asking. I'm not saying you. I'm
Yeah.
just saying in general. If you're a fan of it,
I thought the ending was
first-
pretty good. I mean, that's probably what partly made it.
I suppose what he's saying, does the goodness of the film rely on the twist?
it's like a Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you see it once and you know the ending, can you watch it again and still think it's a good film?
Oh,
Yeah.
the fans of it do. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I
And then look for clues
Yeah.
for the ending.
That
You
was
know
the
what I
problem
mean?
with the-
That's probably a good thing about watching
problem with
it
the
twice.
Sixth Sense was I figured it out like right. I knew there was a twist, because of the advertising that. Spoiler alert! If you don't know the Sixth Sense ending,
It's the trees.
yes. It's like,
I
I knew the kid saw dead people, which that should have been kept hidden. And if you didn't know that, then the whole movie would have been so much better. But knew the kid saw dead people, knew there was a big twist. First 5 minutes of the film, Bruce Willis gets shot. And I'm like, I know where this is going.
Well, aren't you just smarter than the average bear?
Well, I saw it after a lot of other people, so when other people saw it, they might not have known that there was a big twist.
Yeah.
Other than he sees dead people.
We had some listener review picks from Doug, 8 Pants. The Iron Giant, good movie. Hudsucker Proxy, Solo, a Star Wars story. 2, the movie we shall never name, Tomorrowland.
You just named it.
I know.
Damn it.
Number 1, The Lone Ranger. I've never seen it. I really wanted
It
to.
is not good. I don't
He
understand.
says it's not-
I don't
not bad.
understand. Doug is wrong. It was not good.
I heard it was 45 minutes too long.
Tonto.
I think it was 2.5 hours too long.
Tonto,
Johnny Depp.
Depp, Tonto has his moments.
From Dev. He had Blade Runner. Ugh.
Blade Runner was good.
Children of Men and Meet Joe Black.
Children of Men
Hashtag
was good.
Hobie that shit.
Meet Joe Black. Yeah.
Fight Club and Idiocracy.
Yeah.
The Shawshank Redemption. Good call. And The Iron Giant. Honorable mention, when this actually came up on mine, I was thinking about Shoot 'Em Up. Clive Owen. It's a fun movie.
I hadn't seen it, so I can't
Good movie.
put it on a list either.
Shauna
direction.
Pittsburgh Nerd is wrong in his all Ridley Scott part. Number 5, Flash Gordon from 1980. Flash!
But it made its money back. I looked it up. That's why I couldn't make my list.
And I actually have the soundtrack on my iTunes.
Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
Along
Got
with
Queen and Highlander, yeah.
and Highland.
I got
And
them all
Iron Eagle.
together.
Do you have the Iron Eagle song too?
Oh, God.
I think it's on there as a bonus track. Although I wouldn't call it a bonus track.
The
Come
Last
on,
Star-
One Vision, that's a good song.
Yeah.
The Last Starfighter. Legend with Tim Curry as Darkness.
I do have a confession to make in regards to that movie. I do like it. And I remember it was hyped up really big and
It was
bombed.
hyped, yeah.
But it's not really that good of a movie. And Tom Cruise running around in a loincloth, not a good thing.
I always get that confused with Crawl.
Well,
But however, Brian
and I'm not
Ferry,
kidding.
Crawl was one that I thought of on to make my movie.
Crawl. But however, Brian Ferry's song from that, I can't tell you how many times I went into like the record store asking for the Brian Ferry
How
song.
about this? Shitty
from
movies
Legend.
with good songs.
Yeah, is your love strong enough? I love that song.
We talked
from
about
Legend.
soundtracks, but bad movies with good songs.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about great
Not soundtracks, just songs in it.
But so a bad movie. Now, does it have to be a song written for the movie, or just a movie,
No,
a song
in the movie.
It could have been a song that was out 40 years ago, and they put it in a movie.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
Well, you know my Queen entries.
Okay, so maybe we'll wait on that.
But Queen was all good movies, though.
Flash Gordon was not a good movie.
Flash Gordon wasn't, but Flash Gordon was.
Flash Gordon was really campy.
It might be Mel B.
And it was campy on purpose.
Like, could get some help. Sex addiction. Let's see. He also had
Who likes to drink and have sex? This guy.
Office Space and Blade Runner. Besotted Geek.
Yes.
Pittsburgh's #1 show. Office Space. Fight Club.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Kind of surprised by it, but I don't know if I would become a fan.
It's a Wonderful Life. And Shawshank Redemption. Reason why Wonderful Life, it did bomb at the box office.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why
But
it's
you have
beloved.
to watch it at holidays.
And that's why it's beloved, because the movie rights were so cheap. And
You mean non-existent because it was such a bad bomb that they didn't bother to keep the what's
Rights.
the word? The rights.
so they basically
$70.
the network just started playing it over and over every Christmas, and that's why it's beloved.
Yeah, the studio let the rights lapse, and it's Christmas time. Let's show something. This is free.
Let's see. Kevin at Cincy Explorer had Shawshank Redemption.
You know, speaking of that, I wonder if the Christmas Story was a box office bust.
Check that out.
I'm gonna look it up.
Number 4, Clue.
Because it's just as beloved now.
3, Office Space. 2, Heavyweights. And number 1, Camp Nowhere. I enjoyed Camp Nowhere.
I don't know Camp Nowhere.
I think that's with Christopher Lloyd.
Okay, Heavyweights was terrible.
Basically, the kids hire him to be
I'm actually angry at Ben Stiller for making Heavyweights.
Chris Richardson, the greatest soldier ever in a movie. He had Solo, a Star Wars story. Waterworld. Oh, God.
Waterworld wasn't bad. It just wasn't
Weird.
or wasn't
Southland
good.
Tales. I've heard about that's with The Rock.
Oh, I don't know that one's a rock.
Welcome to The Rock. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And number 1, Office Space. Marty Griffin.
Oh, thank you, Marty.
He says, I second Office Space and Scott Pilgrim. Brian Stewart, the lovely half of Salty Language, had Office Space, Idiocracy, Big Lebowski, Iron Giant, and Pootie Tang.
I know Jim will agree with him on Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang was pretty funny.
This is all coming
never
from our
saw it.
Facebook page, and man, a lot more than I thought we had. Jen Adams. She had Showgirls, Idiocracy, Mother, call us Scab Jeff,
Mother.
Grindhouse, which was not that was a box office bomb,
Yeah, I Grindhouse. I probably should have put as a
I like that
honorable
one.
mention.
and Waterworld. And finally, Heno, best abs in the country. You could grate cheese off them. Anyways, he had Sahara. That was not good.
Yeah, I can't agree with that one, Heno.
Hudson Hawk.
Ooh,
Ben-Hur.
the remake.
I don't know.
I think the other one was a big hit, but the remake from
starring
like 2
Charlton
years ago.
Heston?
Yeah,
47 Ronin.
I never saw that one. I
And
heard
John
bad-
Carter. John Carter was not good, but it did not deserve what it got.
Kind of like Waterworld, in my opinion.
So there you go.
Well, Christmas Story budget
Yes.
$3.3 million,
Much.
made 19
It's not bad. That's pretty good.
in 19 whatever money.
Yeah, that's good. 1980
Yeah,
something.
that's good. Yeah, 1983.
God, it was older than I thought it was.
Yeah.
So, thank you everybody for listening. Bad idea of the week, number 8002. Having Ridley Scott direct your film.
What?
Sorry. Anyways, Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye?
Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets. There's a history, it's not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. The history of bad ideas. Podcast.
Addenda. Names of the show.
Titles for the show.
I got Little Audrey,
Bunch of little Audreys.
5-Toll Player, Gungan Milk,
Ooh.
Call Me Patches, Useless Degree, and I like this one. Let Me Pull Out My Hackney from Blake.
Let me pull out my Hackney. Let's see. I Am a Tool. Feed Me Harvey.
Sorry for the yell on the mic. I like that one.
Pink Cadillac. Brooklyn Anal.
No.
Alcohol and Sex. Or Leia, Ray, or Lando. That's all I had.
Leia and Ray Orlando.
I like the Feed Me Harvey.
I apparently you did like it.
I like Feed Me Harvey. I like Let Me Pull Out My Hackney. Brooklyn Anal would be good, but I don't think that's allowed.
All we're saying is that people are very
Anal in Brooklyn.
particular.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about Brooklyn Particular?
But that's not the term.
Sorry. Blake, what do you like?
I like either Pull Out My Hackney or Feed Me Harvey.
Which one do you like, Jeff?
Can we put them both?
No. Feed
Kind
Me
of like
Harvey,
a-
Pull Out My Hackney.
A
Pull Out My
subtitle.
Hackney and Feed Me Harvey.
It's a long title. Pull Out My Harvey.
No. No.
What do you like, Jeff?
God, I like them both. I wanted you guys to narrow it down.
I like Pull Out My Hackney.
Pull
Pull Out My Hackney, otherwise known as Feed Me Harvey.
I do like Feed Me Harvey, though, just because of the visual of the...
Oh, it's a terrible visual.
of those all trees around. Feed Me Harvey?
Feed me, Harvey.
There you go, sure.
Change approved. Goodbye.
You've been listening to Hobie.